We talk all things money, Money Mondays. Joining us live in studio is Windrose Chifarimba. He is a marketplace evangelist, business incubation specialist, founder and CEO of Chief Brands and Entrepreneurs Ignite Hub. He mentors thousands of entrepreneurs through the hub, which has a presence in all the provinces in Zimbabwe. He is also an author of the best-selling book, Mental Gearbox, a manual to wealth creation. And today we're talking about the psychology of wealth creation. Hey, Windrose, good morning, and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Vikendi, for having me in this wonderful show.
Wonderful. So let's get straight into it. The psychology of wealth creation.
Yes, Vikendi.
Yes.
You know, there's an equation and a science behind how money works. And if you don't have a clue of that, you always have a headache. You don't have money in your pocket. And you wonder, why is it some people, are they lucky to be wealthy? But there is an equation and a science behind how money works. The wealthy have found the mathematical formula in the equation that solve the money equation. There is a formula that breaks the wealthy code. The ignorance of the universal wealthy principles have kept a lot bound in abject poverty because they don't know how to create wealth. So we want to look at the mental factors, characteristics, and thought processes that results in someone becoming wealthy. And I say that the major distinguishing factor between the wealthy and the poor is not the side of the town that they stay. Kuti vanogara kuside rasamora pamwe ndosaka tiri kuti vapfumi nekuti vanogara kuside rasamora. The major distinction factor between the wealthy and the poor is not on the quality of clothes that people wear. It's not on the quality of food that you eat. It's not on the type of the car that you drive or the type of the house that you live in. It's not where you send your kids to school. The major distinction factor between the wealthy and the poor, it is their mindset. It is in the way how people think. But we quickly come to the conclusion that when we see somebody driving a nice Jaguar, you know, they don't this one, hey, he's wealthy. We say a person is wealthy when we look at their lifestyle and the assets that they possess. Then we say this one is wealthy. Then when we tikaona munhu ari kurwa nemadhakisi, inotoita kuti uyu murombo. But the major distinguishing factor that distinguishes the wealthy and the poor, it is their mindset. Because the wealth that we are seeing or the poverty that we are seeing, it is the fruits of their minds. So the major distinguishing factor, it is the mindset. Normally, we think that the wealthy or wealthy entrepreneurs are wealthy because of the type of the business that they do.
Yes.
And we think that if I get into this line of business, I will be wealthy.
Like we do in Zim mostly, like
exactly.
Yes.
So it's about chii chiri kuitisa mari. Saka ndikapinda mujeti iri, ndikapinda mugepi iri. So vanhu vari kutsvaga magepi weekend, vari kutsvaga majeti acho. So successful entrepreneurs are not successful because of the type of the business that they do. Because in those line of business that they are doing, there are people who are failing dismally.
In the same line of business.
They are failing dismally, but others are succeeding. So it's not the type of the business, but what causes one to succeed in any type of business? It is the mindset in which you do the business that you do. So I often say that business don't fail, but it is the mindset that runs a business that fail. Wow. Business are broken. As if from the moon, so run a business no broke.
Yeah. Same as tomatoes, why?
Exactly.
Fruit and veg.
Exactly. Saka arisi business no broker. As if from the moon, as run a business, let us say no broker. So it is of paramount importance now to begin to work on our mindset and to debunk some myths about money, because we have got this myth that in order for you to get rich, you have to study hard, you have to work hard, and you have to save hard. And automatically you become rich. But it is a recipe for disaster, because most people weekend, we've got people who are learned, degrees. Vanhu vari kurembera mastreets nemapepa ekuchikoro but muhomwe dzavo musina mari weekend
dololo
00 anditika asi vanhu vakadzidza. So then you realize kuti the conventional educational path that we have been taught for a very long time does not resonate with the current socio-economic landscape that we are in. So after we have gone to school, we have learned, we are coming looking for jobs and there are no jobs. So you realize that the kind of education that we have exposed to is an education that teaches us to work for the system, but does not teach us to create the system. So you are found wanting if the system is ailing and the system is not performing. That's why we've got so many people who have got this depression, but vakadzidza vakaenda kuchikoro, because the kind of education that they are exposed to. Because when you look at our education system, it focuses on the left side of the brain. The brain has got two hemispheres. It has got the left side of the brain, which is responsible for analysis. It is responsible for memory, figures, numbers. It's for memory building, and this is where our education focuses much on. The people that we say they are intelligent, high IQ, there are people that can read, memorize, and are able to answer back what they have read. So inyaya yekuno verenga zvinhu nekuzvinzwisisa musoro mako nekuzvidzorera. But the right side of the brain is the creative side of the brain. Is that side of the brain that helps us to generate ideas, to solve problems. And our education system, haina kurerekera ku right side of the brain.
It doesn't interrogate that side.
Yeah, that side. Saka tichikudzidziswa weekend kuti tinogona kudzidziswa kuti memorize nekuziva zvinhu nekuita sei, but kuti tizofunga. So economy yedu payave iko zvinozvo yakuda vanhu vanoshandisa the right side of the brain, the creative side, so to be relevant in order for you to create money.
I also want to hear from those who are listening. We're talking about the psychology of wealth creation. We're also live on Facebook. Which side of the brain are you using currently at this juncture? The right side or the left side? It is Sabi, tell us about it.
Yes. So now the right side of the brain that is responsible for creative thinking. You need to be a creative thinker, a person who thinks outside the box. A creative thinker, weekend, is a person who sees what everyone is seeing, but he thinks what has never been thought, and he does what has never been done. In the same, we see the same things, we hear the same thing, but you think differently, you do something differently. So these are the people that are needed to function and to create wealth in this kind of environment that we find ourselves in. And one thing weekend about the wealthy, they've mastered one important principle, that money is never pursued, but it's attracted.
Oh, wow.
Mari haidzingirirwe weekend, but mari inokwezva. Ukatanga iwewe kudzingirira mari inotanga kumhanya nespeed inodarika. Aiwa, inorova mboza weekend.
This is so true though.
Yes.
Inotanga kutoripela.
Yes.
Kumhanya.
Yes. In its DNA, weekend money haina kudesignwa zvokuti inofana kudzingirirwa. Vangani weekend muZimbabwe vari kukwira nekudzika vatsvaga mari, but zuva parinopera vanenge vasangana senti maomwe mavo. So money is never pursued, but it's attracted.
Wow.
So what we see now is that the wealthy, they chase problems, while the poor chase money. And at the end of the day, those that are chasing money, they don't find the money, but they that are chasing problems. So the wealthy have mastered an important principle of wealth creation, that money hides in problems. So if you find the problems, weekend, we don't have money problems in the world, but we've got idea problems. There is actually a lot of money in this world, weekend, that to the tune of about 350 trillion. And the world population right now is sitting at 8 billion. If you can do the math, if you can divide that,
come on.
There is a lot of money. Yeah. The moment you start looking for money, you have missed the law of money, because we don't have shortage of money in the world. How come that you start looking for something that is not lost? There is plenty of money. If we divide all the money that is in the world equally, there will not be any poor person in the world right now. But in no time, that money will go back to Mark Zuckerberg, Strive Masiwa, Aliko Dangote, because these are the people that have created the mindset. You know, when we talk about a millionaire, I need to redefine the definition of a millionaire, because we have defined a millionaire from an accounting perspective, where we just look at a person's net worth. But I want to submit to you that a millionaire is a person with the capacity to generate millions.
It's the capacity
to generate millions.
Okay.
So, Viken, if you rob a bank today and walk away with $1 million, you are not a millionaire. You are just an armed robber with $1 million. So, when we're talking about self-made millionaires, there are many types of millionaires. You know, there are millionaires by inheritance. Viken, you have got the fortune that you come from a wealthy family. Yes. You can become a millionaire. You know, they are millionaire by marriage. I say prosperity through marriage. Yes.
Attracting. Attracting.
Yeah. Now the tragedy of that is that, you know, marriage must be founded on the premise of true love. If it's not, that's a recipe for disaster.
I love man.
You know, and one thing also, Vacant, that you note is that we've got millionaires, lucky millionaires. They just win a jackpot. But most of these, in no time, they become broke, bastard, and disgusted in no time, because they don't have the brains of working towards that. But self-made millionaires are the people. So I believe that a millionaire is a person who creates the capacity to generate millions before even he has the millions right within them. So it starts right into their mind. So as I say that, Vacant, we don't have money problems in the world, but we've got idea problems. That is the tragedy we have. So wealthy people are thinkers. They have got thinking time, Vacant. Time that you allocate aside and say, this is the time to think. They have got thinking rooms, thinking spaces. A place yonder ikanda kupinda mndakwana nofungana ndipenda pasi pemuta kana ndikona nogara pabenchi handipagari at any time kana ndipenda ipapo ndikona nopafunga. I'm going there to think. You know, the tragedy of Africa is that we have erected more prayer altars without thinking altars.
Oh my goodness.
We have erected more prayer altars without what? Without thinking altars. And the tragedy of Africa is that we have allowed our biological womb to be more productive than our mental womb.
Hey, okay. You're really going there. Yeah.
We have allowed our biological womb to be more productive than our mental womb. It's an era, Vacant, to have more biological children than your brain children. Vacant, let me say, Kuti, poor people, they consume more than they produce. It's an era to have more children than your brain children. You know, when you sit down, you must ask yourself that among all the millions of products and services that are there in the world, can I point and say, this is my brainchild? So, ukaona usina your own brainchild, but you only want 8. It's an era to have 8 children, you're a tenant. When we look at the order of creation by God, God is a creative genius. He says, be fruitful and multiply. So the order is being fruitful and multiply. You know, but the munaka translate your Bible reshona karasano akawanda because ramoteka chikoti berekanai muwandi. So you realize that it is of paramount importance that we need to be thinkers, to think outside the box, and to be able to generate ideas, to be thinkers. So what does the wealthy people do? They don't work for money, but money works for them. But what do? They sit down. They look around in their community, in the neighborhoods. Problems, they're happy.
As you said, good money is hidden in problems.
Yes.
But then, kunemuna ni mentality or a poor mentality. And to complain.
Yes.
But then there's someone thinking, saying, how can I capitalize on this?
Okay. In the mama shop on the weekend, pane problem, pane business. Because a business person is a person who solves people's problems at a profit. A business person is a person who solves people's problems at a profit. So if you find somebody in this current economic environment that we are in Zimbabwe, who is saying economy I can't make money, know that weekend that person kana nyika yakanaka hafa akaita mari because kana nyika yanaka weekend zvinova kuti multinational companies achauya, big investors achauya, can they compete with big investors and so forth? So this is the time if you're an entrepreneur, because an entrepreneur is a person who is solving people's problems. And in Zimbabwe, we are facing problems left, right, and center. So wealthy people, they sit down, they identify people's problems that are facing, and they come up with wonderful solutions and ideas that address those problems. And they create a business model that helps them to create a money system. They set structures. One of the wealthiest person in Zimbabwe has not been here for the last 20 years. But years back, 2 decades ago, he sat down. He came up with an idea. He set structures, he set systems. He doesn't work for money. Money works for him. So you have to create a money system that works for you, that money is now working for you. You are not working for money. So it is of paramount importance that you sit down, you analyze, and you see what exactly can I do to solve people's problems. Because pane problem yega pane mari.
Do pane mari babo. Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Windrose Chifarimba. We look forward to have you back again next week. For those who want to reach you, your contact details.
Yes, very candy. You can get in touch with me on 0772 767693. I'll come again. 0772 7693. And weekend, I've got a business masterclass that's happening in Blaawai on the 23rd of September. It's a place to be where we'll be teaching these secrets of wealth creation in a business masterclass.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Windrose Chifarimba, a marketplace evangelist, business incubation specialist. Money Mondays right here on the Morning Galaxy on Star FM. Check it out with mine, 10 o'clock time for the